Is do you think it's necessary for you to have insurance for yourself, your family, your assets, and indeed your business? The hashtag you can use is KTN Business Today. Reach out to me directly on my Twitter handle at Peter Akaba or through the Twitter handle at KTN News. Now, of course, the question begs, why are we asking this question? Well, right here in studio to answer that question, two gentlemen who are here to be able to bring us up to speed on just what exactly have been the recent developments on that front. Well, to my close right, Sami Modoi, CEO at Aeon Minet. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Peter.
And, well, Fred Arunga, he is the brains behind a product that we will be talking about that has, well, disrupted the way things are getting done in this industry. CEO of Bima's Exchange.
Thank you.
Sana.
Nice to hear you.
And I think I'll start with you, Fred. With you, well, Sami.
Yes.
And the question that is on everyone's mind is, a lot of Kenyans don't seem to want to take insurance or even to be able to, well, either afford it or simply access it. Why is insurance penetration so woefully low in Kenya and indeed across much of Africa?
First of all, Peter, thank you very much for having me on your show.
Yes.
It's a pleasure and an honor. Mm-hmm. I think I'd like to summarize that there are 5 reasons, essentially, why we have a very low penetration rate of insurance in our country.
Yes.
I'd say the first one is education. The Kenyan population, general population, has not been well educated on the benefits of insurance and how insurance works. The next reason, actually, I'd call it our culture, because we are a strong community culture.
Yes.
Whereby Harambee is a part and parcel of our lifestyle.
Yes.
Such that is actually Harambee is one way of managing risks.
Yes.
So that when you have a problem, you call your community around you to help you,
yes,
mitigate for that particular kind of risk, as opposed to insurance. So our culture is more community-oriented. The other reason is trust.
Yes.
We've not had a very good history, especially in the 70s and sometimes in the 80s, where quite a number of insurance companies did not meet their obligations. Some collapsed, actually.
Yes.
And that made us, that reduced the trust level from the Kenyan insuring public. Another reason, obviously, is affordability.
Yes.
We are a low middle income country, and affordability is obviously a major issue, because the same Kenya shilling that would be buying insurance, that would be being spent on insurance premium,
It's chasing unga.
is chasing unga.
Yes.
It's chasing even airtime,
yes,
and other school fees and such things. So affordability is a key issue. But then the last one is, I would say, us in our industry have not probably been as innovative as we should have been, in the sense that we should have been innovative enough to come up with more affordable products. We've been talking about microinsurance for quite a while.
Yes.
There have been attempts here and there, but they've not really reached the masses well. And also innovation with regards to distribution.
Yes.
In the sense that it's very hard or it's not very convenient for Kenyans, especially out there outside of the cities, to be able to access information and knowledge about insurance.
Yes.
Yes.
And indeed, it's quite a lot of factors. The fact that one wonders why Kenyans just can't hold a Harambee to put cash together to pay the premiums, but will be happy enough to be able to, well, try and come together when the event does happen. It's a lot of things to talk about, but I think we want to concentrate on one thing first, access, and the fact that selling insurance has traditionally been done in a certain way, and that we're saying that with the input of technology, we're now able to literally make a change. And I want to bring in Fred right here, CEO at Bimas. Please tell us about the company itself and why it's promising to disrupt the way things are done in the insurance industry.
First of all, BimaExchange.com is a marketplace.
Yes.
So-called Bima.
Yes.
What we set out to do is to achieve one thing, to create a product that where all insurance companies can take their products in one place.
Yes.
So the consumer can come in there and look at the product, see the affordability, look at the product in a more detailed way without getting into legal language or tech language, to see what exactly am I buying, and if they like it, to be able to buy in the convenience of their homes.
Yes.
So in other words, making the products accessible to anybody via the mobile phone, wherever they are, anytime, 24/7.
How long has the company been around and what has been the uptake so far?
We launched the company in September of last year.
Yes.
Right now, we're very encouraged. We are getting about 500,000 hits every month on our website. And For us, that's great because I don't think there's any other entity that can say that they receive that number of visitors or people knocking on their door on a monthly basis. So we're very encouraged by that factor.
Well, let's talk about the way people have traditionally shopped for insurance. I'll give you a simple example, myself. A few years ago, I took a loan, bought a car, had no idea how to buy insurance. So I called a friend of a friend who gave me a number. I called somebody, the person delivered an insurance sticker to my workplace, and I gave them about 30,000 shillings. And they said, this is the first installment, so I've brought you one sticker, but in about a month, when you give me the rest, I'll give you another sticker. That is for the entire year. And that was the last time we saw the gentleman. When we followed up, we found he'd only paid 1,000 shillings to the insurance underwriter, the company itself, and disappeared with the rest of the money. These are some of the things he talked about. What are you putting in place as BIMAS to be able to sort out shenanigans such as this?
The model that we have is direct.
Yes.
So the customer interacting with our website is actually interacting directly in a way with the insurance company. So whatever data you're putting in our platform is going straight to the insurance. And the payment also, when you make a payment online, whatever payment you made from M-Pesa or credit card is seen in a very transparent manner by the underwriter themselves.
Yes.
So the idea of somebody got this amount of money and paid this amount of money cannot occur because the underwriter knows or sees what the client paid.
It reflects immediately. Let's talk about intermediaries, because Aon is an intermediary, and the fact that a lot of the time the challenge for insurance has been mis-selling, or again the fact that the person you deal with at the point of purchase is again very different from the person you deal with at the point of, well, if I have an event and I need to make a claim, you're told, see a claims officer. First time you're meeting this chap. What are we saying that we've done today to be able to bridge some of these shortcomings?
Thanks for that question, Peter, because at the heart of that lies the issue of trust that I talked about earlier on. And without trust, there's very little that you can do to convince people to buy your product.
Yes.
And one of the key advantages, one of the key benefits that this online digital trading platform or marketplace that we are bringing to Kenyans does is transparency, in the sense that everything in there is visible to everyone, including the insurance regulator, including the whole market, including the whole world, literally. So the issues of policies, the clauses that are applicable, and as Fred mentioned, even the payments are easily tracked and accounted for. Yes. Over and above that, having this digital platform, Bima Exchange, it brings in the convenience of that has not been there before.
Yes.
Right now, as you rightfully say, mis-selling normally takes place because of because of the lack of information by the buyer.
It could be, lack of information.
And also moral hazard by the seller.
Yes.
But in this case, all the information is there transparently.
Yes.
Now, when you talk about convenience, this platform does away with geography.
Yes.
It does away with time, because you can even buy insurance in traffic. You can buy it in your bedroom. You can buy it when you're on holiday.
Yes.
It does away with the barrier of information, in the sense that all the information is there. It's easily we live in the information age, so it's very hard for anyone to con you one way or the other.
Okay.
So indeed, the transparency advantage that comes from this platform will lower the moral hazard greatly.
Yes. One of the things, Fred, that Bima's Exchange has created is a tool that intermediaries can use. I want you to talk to us something about that. The fact that traditionally they've had this analog approach to things where they'd have to travel long distances, take days to be able to sell a product because of the back and forth. Please talk to us about this, because we want to be able to take our viewers through a sort of demonstration of what this you can achieve.
That challenge exists, and partly because of the infrastructure we have.
Yes.
If I'm an agent and I'm trying to sell so many policies, even within Nairobi, there are only so many clients that I can get. Then, of course, the traditional agent still has to pick up forms from the underwriter, deliver them to the customer. The customer has to fill them and take them back, and then go chase payments. So this guy actually is doing all those functions. How many customers can he see in a day? How many of those can he process?
Yes.
So we thought that the model that we created should not replace the agent, but should complement the agent. make it easier for the agent to be able to operate. So what we did, we created a section for them where an agent can come and sign up.
Yes.
And when he signs up, he actually has an account on his phone that he can go and sit in front of a potential customer.
Client, yes.
And if the client wants to complete a transaction, they can put in the information and ask the customer, how are you going to pay? And the payment is made there through the main area. And boom, it's done.
Yes.
The delivery guys will take care of that. The agent can actually forget about the logistics of it, go on to his next appointment, because the back office is handled through Aon. So Aon does
if you look at our screen right now, because we can see some of that, please tell us what some of those things are and what we should essentially do. That's the place where you're supposed to input the information?
Correct. So bmexchange.com, we have 5 products now. We have motor, we have health, we have domestic, and we have golfers insurance, and we are putting on more.
Yes.
These are products from almost 18 companies that we work with, and of course we are onboarding more. We hopefully by the end of this year would have over the 50 or the 46 companies on board.
Yes.
So when you come on and you look at the main screen, you choose whichever insurance type you want to buy.
Yes.
We ask you for some very basic information.
Yes.
Which is just information to get to know what you're looking for and everything else. And in less than a minute, you can actually get to the quote section where you get to see the quotes from all the providers that are, sorry, I didn't, you can see all the providers that are on the platform. So I think in that case, they were looking at, if I'm saying it well, is we're looking at a motor vehicle quotation.
Yes.
And so we have providers from, the Aon themselves have a product there, but about 19 people have products that are onboarded.
Yes.
Now, there's a beauty in this in the sense that if you are an agent and you go to this page and you have an account with us, we actually have a social media sort of interface where the agent creates a quotation in less than a minute and can share it on Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, email. In 90 seconds is all you need to create and generate and send a quote to a customer. So to that extent, that is how it helps the customer. But even for the user, they can see the same information that the agent sees.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does this mean then for the person who's acting as a intermediary? Because this is a guy who'd serve 1 or 2 clients a day. And what does it mean for the customer in terms of access, convenience, and cost?
For the intermediary, you are doing less, but you can do more. In other words, if you share a link and somebody buys using your link, for example, your commission is yours. It doesn't matter who did the deliveries, who did the processing. You send the lead out, somebody bought, the back office works for you.
Let's talk a bit about that, the fact about the back office. Because for a lot of people, understanding what it means to say that once you purchase it here, then there's an entire back office that is going to handle the printing, the delivery, and those sorts of things. Please take us through that shortly.
So traditionally, when you buy insurance, the forms have to go to the insurance company in the traditional manner.
Yes.
They have to input the information in the system, on a system, create an account, have it approval, then send it over for printing of certificate.
Yes.
Then, at some point, depending on who you're working with, they may deliver to you, or they may ask you, or ask your agent to come and pick up that certificate and deliver it to you. Say you're in Karen, and that's where the agent has to go. That is going to take you easily half a day. Or even worse.
Yes.
So the way we have done is such that we have a force or a unit in Nairobi. Whenever you buy a policy and it's activated by the underwriter, automatically our courier partners are notified that here's a shipping label to pick up a policy from Aon or from Madison or from whatever insurance company and deliver it to the customer wherever they are. So in Nairobi, essentially we're doing 2.5 hours. Outside of Nairobi, Mombasa also about 2.5 hours, the cities. Turkana would be maybe next day. No, Turkana would be maybe 3 days. But say if it is Nyeri, Nyeri is next business day.
Yeah. Okay. Indeed, interesting enough. And let's come back to you, Sami. The fact that this is a product that literally has cut through miles of bureaucracy, has cut through a lot of time and expense that people like you, organizations like you, just to have to go through. What does it mean for you?
For us, it means various things.
Yes.
First of all, is a growth of sales.
Yes.
Because you're able to reach so many people at a go, at their convenience.
Yes.
There's the natural growth of sales. As Fred mentioned earlier on, Right now, we are interacting with about 500,000 Kenyans every month. At most, maybe during office hours, in a month, we see probably 1,000 and at most 1,500 people a month. So here you are being able to interact and communicate and talk to 500,000 Kenyans a month. So that will naturally lead to the growth of the business.
Yes.
But the other thing is that we are able to deliver these business results with excellence. Excellence meaning at less cost and more convenience. So it cuts off a lot of back office work, and we are able to actually do the same kind of business at less costs. But I think probably even more importantly is service to the client.
Yes.
You see, it's all about the consumer. The consumer, the buyer is king. And we've been accused in the industry, rightfully so sometimes,
Yes.
that once we pick up your check for insurance,
That's it.
you'll see us next renewal.
Yes.
Now, with this tool, now what we're able to do is interact with you on a daily basis, if you will, to manage your claims issues, to manage your customer service issues in an interactive way, and you can contact us anytime, 24 hours,
Yes.
24 hours a day, you know? So we expect also that the customer experience and the service
Yes.
will be that much better than has been before. Yes.
I'll ask you, gentlemen, to take about 10 seconds each and talk to us about consumer education, because these products are out there, but the knowledge out there is still woefully low. What are we doing to be able to enable people really come to appreciate that these solutions are out there? Fred?
I think the knowledge is there, but it's the way it's delivered.
Yes.
Largely. Because the typical pack of information from an underwriter would come in a file that is about 10 or 15 pages,
Yes.
just to give you information about. But out of that, you probably need just bam, bam, bam. That's information that you require to make that decision. So what we have tried to do in this case here is to figure out a way where we can give that information to the customer in a friendly and easy way for them to understand. That is one. Also, I think the uptake, insofar as it affects, it's affected by information, is a lot of people have misconceptions about how much insurance costs.
Yes.
I was giving somebody an example the other day where I said, do they know that for 4,000 shillings, for example, I can insure myself for funeral
Yes.
with my wife, my 4 kids,
Yes.
my parents,
Yes.
and my in-laws,
Parents-in-law.
Yes.
for 4,000 shillings a year.
Yes.
So that information is not out there. Every time I've told somebody that, they've gone like, wow.
Okay.
So if the customer is not notified or they don't have that information,
Yes.
it's very difficult for them to make a decision about purchasing.
Well, and unfortunately, we are out of time. And indeed, just because we want to sample some of what has been going on the Twitter sphere, because the populace has indeed been talking to us. Kenyans do want to talk insurance. And just to take you through some of what they've literally just said, well, Eric Siriyama, regular contributor here on KTN Business Today, says it's important to have it, but most of these companies in Kenya are more in business than care for their customers. And secondly, just to read another one quickly, well, this is from Felix Ogumbo. He says, lack of concerted populace sensitization and education. Very quickly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think the responsibility for education, educating Kenyans, and I really appreciate those comments
Yes.
that are coming through. The responsibility of education of educating Kenyans on insurance rests on 3 parties.
Yes.
The government,
Yes.
and IRA, Insurance Regulatory Authority, has actually been carrying out quite a number of sensitization programs, which have had a degree of success.
Okay.
Then there's us in the insurance industry. But we need to do more and to use more channels.
Okay, indeed. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time to talk to us. It indeed has been a very knowledgeable conversation, and something that we want to keep doing, even if on a monthly basis, to be able to take this conversation forward. Asante Nisana for taking the time. Well, indeed,
Thank you.
That's where we bring it to a close here on KTN Business Today. It has been nice having your company here. Up next is Worldview in just a few minutes, and to remind you that we'll be here at the same time tomorrow with more headlines making business useful right across the country, right across the region, and right across the world. From us here in studio, it is to have yourselves a good afternoon. My name is Peter Wakaba. Asante sana.